Hi friends, myself Avinash Nempalli. I am a Microsoft certified Excel and PowerPoint expert. So welcome to this new channel Excel 10x, where we teach individuals and corporates about the new latest technological trends, training with 10 times the benefits. During my training, many people have this confusion about dates, how dates are handled. So today I would like to take you through a session which talks all about dates, how Excel handles dates. Now before we go to Excel, let me tell you, for any software, dates happen to be one of the most trickiest data points to be captured and to be consumed. It's no different for Excel as well. So let's go ahead and look at how Excel perceives dates and other forms of data. So here I have a new Excel file open, a blank Excel sheet. So let me just increase one of the column widths. Let's put some text over here. So supposing I put Microsoft and press enter, you see that the text remains on the left. Now why it remains on the left is because Windows, the version of Windows that I am using, is an English version, and in English any text goes from left to right. Now let's put a number. So I put a number 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, press enter, and you see that it goes on the right. Now the reason why it goes on the right is because from our elementary mathematics we know that the units of all the numbers are aligned on the right side for easier calculation, and for this numbers it is just the same, so it is right aligned. Now let's try putting a date. So consider I put a date 1st of November. So I am putting it in a dd-mmm-yyyy format. So 1st of November 2024, and when I press enter, you see it goes on the right. Now most of the people think that it goes on the right because it has only numbers and the hyphen is resembling a minus sign, hence it evaluates to a mathematical calculation, and that's the reason why it goes on the left. But that's not the case. Let's look at adding another date in a slightly different format. So here I put the same date in a slightly different format, and now when I press enter, you see though it has the alphabets, it still goes on to the right. Okay, let's continue further, putting one more kind of date where I put the year first and the day. Okay, you see again it went on the right. Let me put a last date in the most commonly used Indian format, which is 01.11.2024. Press enter, it remains on the left. The question is, why did most of the dates go on to the right and some dates remain on the left? Now to understand this better, let's look at the format in which each of these cells have been saved. Now the format you can see over here. So for the first one, it is general. For the second one, it's general. For the third one, it shows a date. For the fourth one, it says custom. The fifth again is a date, and the last one is again a general. So out of the things that I have typed over here, 3 are in a general format, 2 in a date format, and 1 in a custom format. So let's change everything to general format and see if we can spot any difference. So I select all of these and change everything to a general or no specific format. And when I do that, you'll see that 3 of the dates have got converted into a number. Now 2 questions here. Number 1, why did the date get converted into a number? And question number 2, what is this specific number 45597? Why did this specific number show up? The thing is that Excel, or for that matter, any spreadsheet, understands only two things. It understands numbers and it understands text. Dates are something which any spreadsheet does not recognize. Why? Because any date is actually a number which is formatted as a date. So dates are nothing but numbers which are formatted as a date. So when you change the format, from a general to a date, you will see it shows as a date, otherwise it shows as a number. Now the second question is, why did this specific number show up? What does that number represent? Well, that the number is actually the number of days from 1st of January year 1900. So 1st of November 2024 is 45,597th day from 1st of January year 1900. So if I go and change two of these numbers, the first one, instead of 45597, I make it 45596, and over here, instead of 45597, I make it 45598. Okay, and now let me change everything to date format, and you can see that it shows 1 day prior and 1 day later. Now the question is, why is it that this did not change to a number? The reason is there are two dots in this format, and any number has only one decimal point. If there are two decimal points, it's no longer a number. And if I say Excel understands only numbers and text, if it's not a number, it has to be a text. And that's the reason why it is left aligned. It doesn't matter how you type a date as long as you are not doing any calculations on that date field. But in case you need to do any calculations, then I would advise you always use the proper date format. Now consider an invoice was raised on 31st of October 2024. And the credit period for that invoice is 45. So how do you calculate the due date for this particular invoice? Now, if 31st of October is a number and 45 is a number, I can use simple mathematical calculation to do this date, which is actually a number, plus this number, press enter, and you get the due date. So when you add a number to a date, you get a new date. Or when you subtract a number from a date, you get a new date. Now if you do the same thing over here, say here also I use 45 days, and if I try to do this plus this, you'll see you get a value error. Now what does the value error indicate? Value error indicates that where a number was expected, you have given a text. It is trying to add two numbers together, and because one of the values is a non-number, it is not able to add both of them together, and that's why you get a value error. So now you know how dates are perceived by Excel, and I hope you start using dates in the correct format. For more such tips and tricks, do stay connected. Please do like, comment and subscribe to my channel. See you then.